Hi, this is Delvin speaking. I don't know if the mic's working properly, but sorry for the crappy audio. Um, so this will be a my first guest podcast with my father. Um, and this is just basically saying you're getting a bonus episode this week, mainly because I'm not really proud of how the second episode came out, especially since I like the first recording better than the second, and I lost the first recording, which sucks. So, as apologies, you're getting a bonus episode. I had a lot of fun talking with my dad about like what happened with the Miranda Singh situation, the charges of Travis Scott, and whether or not he got for that. Stay tuned and see why. Um, yeah, this was just a really fun podcast to do, and yeah, I hope next episode I can be a lot more quality on my own. But for now, I got my dad on, and I hope you all enjoy. And I also have an intro now. In terms of intro music, I used from Anno Mutation, which I will credit in the bio. So take this. So yeah. One more thing before we properly start the episode. If any mutuals want to come on the podcast, please let me know. I'm down. I'm down to talk. And yeah, that's really it. Bye.
Hello and welcome back again to Ren Talks Whatever, where I talk about whatever I want. Today we have a very special guest, one who I look up to very much, and one who brought me into this world. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want you to give a great applause to my father, Delvin Cox.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good to be on the show, son.
All right, so you're the first guest. So take that as the highest regard you've ever gotten.
Okay, I will. As long as Mike Fowler wasn't the first guest, because fuck him.
How's everyone doing? We got a very interesting show today because I got some news that I want to talk about. And yeah, let's just jump into the podcast. How have you been?
Been pretty good. Been pretty good overall. Not too bad at all. Just busy as always, working on podcasts, working on PlayStation experience, working on a Delvin Cox experience, and things like that. But overall, I'm good.
All right, I'm just playing Tears of the Kingdom again, so that I can't really talk anymore on that. But all right. So let's talk. Let's get into our first topic. I want to talk a little bit on Indiana Jones. Um, I was gonna review this. I was gonna review this by myself, but since I wanted to get a guest on this time around, now I'm with you. So essentially, this is a D&D podcast, like a
Okay.
mini episode.
Okay, that's fine. Well, you're leading the show. This is your show, so
Yeah.
just
Yeah. All
lead
right.
the way.
So let me know your general thoughts on Indiana Jones: Dial of Destiny. Just let me know your general thoughts.
I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. I think I feel like the first half, not the first half. Well, I would go as far as say the first half is very promising, especially the beginning sequences and things like that. And then there's a point where it just takes a nosedive off a cliff. And I wouldn't say it is the worst offensive movie can possibly make it. Because bad movies can be enjoyable. The Fast and Furious have made billions of dollars about making bad movies. this movie is boring. And I think that's his biggest problem. Like I said, I want to say the first half of it is interesting, it's fascinating, it's even cool at some points. But then it just gets really repetitive, really boring, and I found myself not caring by the end of the movie. And for me not to care about Indiana Jones, one of my favorite movie characters, that says a lot. So yeah, I will say Crystal Skull is bad. This is not entertaining. And that may be worst.
Go ahead, my bad.
But it's I am glad that Harrison Ford, because I know he loves the Indiana Jones franchise, and I know he wanted to really close it out. I'm glad that he got to have his I guess his final time to play that remarkable, memorable role again for the last time. But overall, unless you're going to see Harrison Ford's pretty much last performance in Indiana Jones, and just for that reason, it's not really worth it. It's not great. Like I said, it feels like and the crazy thing about it is we have two movies this month that kind of doing the same thing. We have The Flash, where it's probably going to be your last chance to see Michael Keaton as Batman. And we have this one where you're going to see the last appearance of Indiana Jones, essentially, unless they do I don't think they're going to do any more movies, but Harrison Ford is probably hanging it up as Indiana Jones. And I think, based off this movie, maybe it's time.
I agree with everything you just said. I also did not like the movie. Definitely more than you didn't. I think I hate this more than Crystal Skull. Just straight up. It's been a while since I've watched that movie, so maybe when I rewatch it, and I plan on rewatching it tomorrow. But maybe when I rewatch it, I will have changed thoughts. But at the very least, Crystal Skull is funny bad. This is just bad. This is just insufferable. Like, it feels like they had like the blueprint on like the very first draft on what they wanted to do for Indiana Jones movie, but fumbles it all at the execution. Like, I don't like any of the new characters. The returning characters, well, they're cool to see again. They just kind of feel misused. And not like that, like, I'm really happy that Harrison Ford returns as Indy. But honestly, I really don't like the characterization of Indy in this movie. Like, it just feels like such a disservice. And I'm overall just really underwhelmed by the film. That's really it. It's a horrible film to me. And it's not even in the like a Morbius horrible where I can laugh at it on how bad it is. It's just painfully bad, where there's nothing redeemable about it, to me at least. Besides, like you said, that beginning sequence. That's really all I can say without going into spoilers.
Yeah, the
If you
beginning
want to,
sequence felt like a classic Indiana Jones movie.
it really did. Like, they nailed it right in the head in the beginning, so it makes me wonder, like, what happened? Like, what happened during the development of this film? Like, again, if you want to hear more on my thoughts, because we're probably going to do a review cast on this, check out my father's Patreon. We do a podcast called D&D. No, we do not play Dungeons and Dragons. But we do a podcast called D&D, and it supports my dad, and you get a cool podcast out of it, and multiple podcasts, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, we'll probably eventually start bringing some of those episodes here, so you guys can hear some of those episodes. Not all of them, but some of the episodes we'll probably bring on this feed so you can hear them as well, and you'll get a little kick out of it. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be pretty fun. But yeah, overall, I'm just not a fan of Indiana Jones. This was disappointing, like, very, very disappointing. But you know what else is disappointing?
What else is disappointing?
This is the part where you're supposed to exaggeratedly say, "What else is disappointing?"
No, absolutely not. That's not going to happen.
All right. All right. So I don't really like talking about YouTuber drama because it's all the same to me. But this is funny.
YouTube. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. When you say YouTube, I don't know what in the world you referring to? I don't know none of these guys. The only person I know is what's the guy named everybody hates now, Logan Paul. That's it.
You only know him because he's on AEW. No, he's on WWE.
That's correct.
Um, um, then you'll definitely don't know who this is. Do you know who Miranda Sings is?
Oh, I've heard a little bit about this story about this girl because it's all over Twitter.
Okay, good. But essentially, for those who don't know, and somehow doesn't, um, Pyrocytical has a good video talking about it. But just to give you my rundown, essentially, Miranda Sings was a YouTuber who was really popular back in like the early 2010s. And now it just kind of fallen off. But she was recently caught. Well, not recently. Back in 2019, it was 2020. I'm reading my notes wrong. But back in 2020, she was caught venting to fans and she sent underwear to one of her underage fans, which was what it was editor, right?
I don't know. I just heard that she was.
You heard the
No,
you
I
told
didn't
me
hear
you
the
knew.
whole. I knew a little about the story. I heard that she was grooming her younger fans. That's what I heard. They didn't get into the specifics of it, but I was like, that's the logistics of it. That she was sliding into her underage fans' DMs and having inappropriate conversations with them. That's what I
Yeah.
heard. And then, when you see stuff like this on Twitter, they kind of show you every instance of her being creepy without telling you the story of behind her. Okay, why did this come up like this? Like they were showing videos of her making off-colored jokes about minors and stuff like that, and making like molestation jokes, and they're like, oh yeah, she's kind of creepy. That's what I said.
Like I said, if you want the full details, Pyrocytical has a great video on it. But to give you again my rundown, she had like this group chat with fans that where she would say some of the most inappropriate stuff, which it's bad in itself, but I didn't want to touch on it mainly because like I'm not really one to talk about YouTuber drama, but there's one reason why I don't want to talk about this. One specific reason.
Why?
Her response.
The stupid thing she did. Yeah.
All right. So she did respond to the allegation back in 2020, and I didn't watch the response because again, I don't care. But from what I've heard, it was a good response, and now she's come back with a new response,
What do you define as a good response?
addressing it and apologizing.
Because there is no good response for like, hey, I was potentially sexually assaulting people, and like I was grooming kids.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's no really good response to that. You can say what you want to say, but I don't know. I'm going to believe your response.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That is a good point. Like you can't just. That's actually a good point. My bad.
Like you can't talk your way out of that. Like, hey, I made a mistake. No, it's more than a mistake. That's horrible.
Yeah, but yeah, this is worse. This is way worse. So you're already aware with like YouTuber apologies, and they're never really that good, right?
Probably. I don't follow YouTubers. Not my lane.
Okay.
Most people's
'Cause you're
apologies are terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they're known for. And can you guess? This one's no different.
I already
And this
know what
And
happened.
this one, it's wild, where she plays a song about how essentially everyone's just overreacting and stuff like that. It's just
Yeah, she's sitting in a room to give people an idea what's happening. She's sitting in a room with like a guitar. She's playing a guitar, like one of those little, not an electric guitar, like a regular guitar,
it was like a ukulele.
like a ukulele maybe. And he's playing like it just like in like a weird way, like just saying like I don't want to say she's apologizing. She's kind of blaming
she's
everybody,
not.
blaming everybody like, oh, you took it out of context and saying like shut the fuck up. It's really terrible.
And it's like she also does the thing, like the fake, like I'm gonna turn off the camera. No, they need to hear the truth thing. Like in the video, like I highly recommend people watch it. Not because it's good,
It's terrible.
because it's funny.
It's terrible.
Because like, imagine responding to horrible, like these kind of horrible allegations to a song, like just like you respond as like a song. Like imagine like Call Me Carson if you know who he is.
No, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, of course you know.
I don't even know who any of these people are. I don't give a shit about none of these people.
Should have not asked. But it's like if Call Me Carson responded to his allegations with a full on diss track on anyone who speak down on his name.
I don't know. I don't even know what that means. What did he do? He did the same stuff, trying to touch kids and all that weird stuff these YouTubers do. A lot of YouTubers are getting up for some really messed up, perverted stuff. Like, I don't know if I want you watching YouTube.
Yeah, you see
these
that
dudes
a lot
are really
now.
weird.
You see
YouTubers
that a
are
lot
very
now.
weird.
Like they are like you saw that with like Call Me Carson. We recently saw that with Cyrus, which was insane.
I don't know any of these people.
I know you don't, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, some of these YouTubers are creeps.
Some of them,
like,
most of them.
Yeah,
90% of them.
A good chunk of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was basically the situation. It was ridiculous. And speaking of apologies, the Astroworld event. You saw that transition?
No, that wasn't good. No bueno.
What I brought you on again?
Because no one else wanted to come on.
Yeah, pretty much.
All
right. So, for those who were living under a rock in 2021,
me.
There was the Astroworld tragedy that left 10 people dead. It was rough. It was horrible. And yeah, it was just like a really, it's hard to describe. Like, it was just a bad situation all around.
I can describe what happened because Delvin's not explaining it. For those who don't know, Astroworld was this kind of like a festival that what is his name? Travis Scott used to have, where fans would come out and he perform all of these songs. And the Astroworld tragedy was essentially happened was the venue that the festival was at. It was like overcrowded. I want to say it was.
Yeah.
And they were trying to push to the front. And long story short, people got trampled and 10 people died because of this event. And there wasn't the proper protocol set in place so this stuff wouldn't happen. And Travis Scott got sued. It was a big mess of things because of this whole tragedy. And if I remember correctly, he was trying to get the crowd to do something that happens at his concerts.
The strange part about like the Astroworld event was just Travis didn't stop the show.
Yeah,
like he paused it once to help one person out, and then immediately continued the show, which is insane to me. Because like there were people jumping on cars, because there were people like pushing and shoving each other. There was like multiple who got injured, which is insane.
Because people were trying to get to the stage, and some people failed and got like the story got a lot of his traction because it was a kid there. Like I think the kid was like 12 years old, something like that, and he fell and the kid died and got essentially stomped out horribly because the lack of security and lack of protection, and it was just a tragic event.
Yeah. It was just a tragic event in general that led to, it was the cause of the irresponsibility of multiple parties, of everyone just being not prepared at all, which it's frustrating this happened. But it recently came out. Travis Scott will not face criminal charges over 2021 Astroworld tragedy, Pitchfork says.
Okay.
So Kent Schaefer, I think his name is, Scott's attorney, shared the following statement with Pitchfork. My client Travis Scott will not be charged with the criminal charges or any wrongdoing of his involvement with Astroworld. Today's decision by Harris County District Attorney confirms what we have known all along, that Travis is not responsible for the Astroworld tragedy. This is a consistent invest. Man, I'm reading this wrong. This is a consistent investigation with reporting by numerous media outlets and federal and state government reports that have squarely placed the on this. Okay, essentially, Travis is not getting charged with any of this,
Yeah.
which I have very mixed thoughts on this. What do you think, first of all?
Um, it's a hard thing to talk about and kind of discuss because lives were lost, and well, I understand why he wasn't charged because it was a tragedy. I think it was kind of a mistake, and it was a horrible, costly mistake. I don't know if I would say he's liable. Let me make it clear. I think he's liable, but I don't know if he's criminally liable. I think he should have to pay for all the. I think he did pay for all those families' funerals who passed away, and those families should be greatly awarded some type of compensation because it's a tragic situation, and he didn't intentionally mean to do it. It was a concert. Tragic things happen at concerts sometimes. It wasn't intentional. That's my whole thing. It wasn't a thing where he was being malicious about it. He was just being an idiot. So I kind of understand why he's not being charged. But also I think there should be some type of consequences for this. I don't know if it's like criminal. I don't think it should be criminal charges, to be clear. I think it should be something like, hey, maybe a lawsuit, maybe a class action lawsuit. Because I don't think it's only Travis Scott's fault. It's the venue, the people who put on the venue, the people who held the event, the security, everybody who was there, who played a part in making this thing happen, are responsible for. Yes, Travis Scott is the head of it, and he funded it because I think it was his festival. But at the same time, like, there were other people in the hands. Like, there should have been a lot of more safety protocols to prevent stuff like this from happening, and a lot more security. They should have done a lot more. And because they didn't do a lot more, lives were lost. And that's tragic.
I have very mixed thoughts on this. Like, one, yeah, Travis didn't really kill anyone, and I don't think he should be punished because he didn't kill anyone. But he should be punished for the irresponsibility of this entire event. Like, him and his team should face consequence for this, and they did. Like,
and that's
they
what
somewhat
lawsuits
did.
are for. And that's what lawsuits are for.
Yeah, but I feel like it wasn't enough, mainly because people's lives were lost, dude. Like, there were so many people.
Let me make myself clear when saying this, and this is a true statement. I think everybody can relate to this. There's no amount of money you can pay that will compensate a lost life. I know people are like, oh, well, the money makes things better. No, it doesn't. It's a life loss, and you can't compensate. It's nothing you can do to make that situation better. At very minimum, you can just make sure that the people who lost their family members can live comfortably for the rest of their lives.
Especially if that person's like close to you, there's no amount of money will fix that.
Yeah.
And it did not help. Like, everyone already memed on this when the apology first came out, but like, it did not help that it seemed like Travis did not care. Like, or at the very least was more concerned about like the lawsuits and stuff like that than he was about the fact that people died at his concert. It definitely does not help that that's what he came off as, and it's tragic to see, man.
It definitely is, but at the same time, it's a situation where I'm quite sure, I can't speak for him because I'm not him, of course, but there's a lot going through your head. Like, you're possibly not only going to lose your career and lose your livelihood, but you very much well could lose your life in terms of your freedom. Because, like I said, 10 people died. That's not a small amount of people. And like I said, he didn't intentionally do it, but you're still responsible for it. So I'm quite sure in retrospect, that was kind of going through his head. Like, hey, I might have to go to prison for this. I just tried to have a party and have some people to have fun and just give them a cool event. And there's a chance I might get locked up and go to jail for a long time. And I think that that's something to take in consideration. Some people don't know how to cope with that, and I think that's what he himself was dealing with at the time. And I know people kind of gave him shit for it, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I kind of get it. It's a lot to take in. That's all. Like, your career is gonna be gone. You've caused lives, and there's trauma with that alone. You cause people to actually die. That's a whole nother trauma that comes into it. And now there's consequences for that. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, just concluding thoughts. This is just like a tragedy, in general. And well, 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 I think Travis shouldn't be charged for the murders. Something should have happened.
Well, it wouldn't be
he
murder,
should have
by
got
the way.
punished. Huh?
It would not be murder
That is true.
because murder is premeditated. It would probably be involuntary manslaughter or something like that.
That would probably be it. Yeah. But yeah, let's move on. Like, let's get into something more lighthearted.
Okay, you running the show.
All right. So recently, it was shown that we're getting 3 more Transformers skins in Fortnite, including a Battle Bus Transformers.
That's weird.
Have you seen how this Battle Bus Fortnite, how the Battle Bus Transformer looks?
I have not. What does it do?
It does nothing.
It's just
It
the
is
bus
skin.
in Transformer skin.
Look it up. It is literally the Battle Bus turned into a Transformer.
That tells me nothing. So does it do anything? Or is it just the bus and the design of a Transformer with a Transformer symbol on it?
Let me see if I can share my screen real quick, just to show you what it looks like. Because it's a cosmetic, so obviously it won't do much, and I can't share my screen. Never mind. But I think it looks cool. I think he looks cool. But virtually something more interesting. Bumblebee and Megatron are also coming to Fortnite. And the coolest part about this, they're the G1 designs compared to the Rise of Beast designs that Optimus and Optimus Primal were based off of.
Okay, that's cool.
So it's G1 Megatron and G1 Bumblebee. They'll be in a pack for about $24. And Polygon states, but having the opportunity to fully embody the Battle Bus and hit the gritty as off-brand Transformers that look like the Battle Bus is taking Fortnite to an all-new meta level.
No, thank you.
This is why I don't read from Polygon.
Well, that read up made me not want to play it. Good job.
But what do you think? What do you think of these skins?
Oh, they're cool. It's cool that they added Optimus Prime, now Bumblebee and Megatron. Just keep adding them. I like the fact that they're doing these things. I'm not the biggest fan of Fortnite, but I understand why people like it, and it's cool that they finally have Transformers in Fortnite. Do they transform in the vehicle mode, Delvin?
No.
So they just run around looking like the regular Transformers?
Yes.
That's not cool. Hey man, that's not cool.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you with that. There should have been at least like a traversal emote that allows you to transform into the car. That would have been cool to see. Or maybe that would be too hard to program.
Yeah, I would think just let them be able to transform to a vehicle. That's all. You can, especially considering that the ones they have kind of have a car mode.
That is true.
So you don't have to fly necessarily, But so it is what it is, though.
Yeah. The pack for anyone who's interested will be released physically on October 13th and digitally on October 21st. So be on the lookout for those on October.
Kind of far.
It is very far, and I don't understand why Epic keeps doing this because they have these yearly packs where they release physical copies of Fortnite.
Why did they announce it then so soon?
I don't know. They did this with the anime pack last year, and they did this as well with the Last Laugh and the Minted Legends and every other pack they've done this with. And I don't know why they announced it so soon. It honestly feels weird to get this early announcement, It feels even weirder that this year's yearly physical run will be Transformers.
I think it's cool, and I think it lines up with Rise of the Beast, so it makes sense, but yet and still it's you can do more.
Yeah. Anywho, let's talk about this Grimace shake.
Your sister drunk some, and she's now passed away. Rest in peace, Brianna.
I asked them if they wanted to be on the podcast, and when I did, they were dead.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I had a sip of shake,
so,
and I still don't feel right. I might be gone.
This is the last podcast the Delvin Cox experience will ever be on. All right. But for those who don't know, it's Grimace's birthday, or at least it was. And as a result, McDonald's is doing this promotion where they're releasing a Grimace themed milkshake. And everyone's making memes about it where if you drink the Grimace shake, you just straight up die.
Yes.
And I wanted to talk about this mainly because I find this so interesting because this happens a lot with promotional foods. I remember back with when the Spider-Verse burger came out, there was a lot of people memeing on it, saying oh, that's a heart attack on a bun because the red dye on it.
Yeah.
And then I tried it and it just tastes like a normal Whopper.
Yeah.
But
can I let me give the people the news that I gave you earlier that people may not know. So for fans of McDonald's who are wondering what Grimace is an enormous taste bud. So Grimace is not just a regular purple thing. He's a taste bud. That's why he looks the way he looks like.
So take that what you will. But reading this today.com article, a new TikTok trend puts a disasterly history on McDonald's land's most mysterious character on blast. On June 12th, McDonald's debuted a purple berry flavor shake in honor of Grimace's birthday, inspired by his iconic color and sweetness, according to the company. That is a weird way of phrasing it. That is a wild way to phrase it.
Yes, it is.
Grimace's sweetness. While some folks have been enjoying the shakes, even as they attempt to pinpoint the exact flavor profile of it, others have taken to TikTok to hop on a new trend, one that takes the sugary sip to a not-so-sweet place. After consuming the drink, TikTokers pretend to pass out in the puddle of purple. That's just funny to read. It's gotten so dark that Grimace himself commented on it June 27th via McDonald's Twitter account. And it's just a tweet of Grimace saying, "Me pretending I don't see Grimace shake trend." And it's just a giant face of Grimace. It's just corporate Twitter.
Of course.
But
That's what corporations do.
yeah. But yeah, essentially there's this new TikTok trend where people are just pretending to die as soon as they taste a Grimace shake. And like it kind of got me curious. Like the Spider-Verse burger, it kind of got me curious to try it for myself. And we were gonna try it for ourselves. We couldn't get out of our orders. So that's a
Yeah,
big
they do some weird thing. I don't know if it's at every McDonald's, but you have to order the Grimace shake with the Grimace meal. I don't know what that's about, but yeah. The Grimace meal is just essentially a 10-piece chicken nuggets meal. Yeah, and you get the fries and the Grimace shake. Yeah, but that's how they're doing it.
No, you don't even get fries.
You don't get fries?
Both did have got fries.
Oh, that's weird.
But we did take a sip of it. We did take just a sip. I took a bit more because Bones hated the shake. But to give my honest thoughts, it's a milkshake. All right.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Pretty much. It's a milkshake. Has like a blueberry favorite milkshake. It's okay. It's okay. It's not amazing.
I could see like the berry comparisons. Like I could definitely see like the berry comparisons, but it just kind of tastes more like it just tastes like sugar. That's what it really tastes like. It just tastes like pure sugar.
And that's why everybody's dying from all that sugar rush. They fall out and die.
That might be it. You know what? That might be it. You might be onto something. But it really isn't a good shake. Like it's just kind of mid.
Yeah.
I will say this: the memes that are comparing the shake to lean are very funny.
Yeah, the meme was good.
And I even saw like one of my personal favorite animators, Scott Falco, made like a little animation of Mario taking the Grimace shake.
Oh, so Mario's dead too now.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Mario.
Rest in peace, Mario. But yeah, that's really all I can say. Like, it made some funny memes. It made some unfunny memes from McDonald's in particular. But I can report the Grimace shake does not kill you.
Or does it?
All right. Let's see. Let's talk about Comic-Con. I think that's the last thing I want to talk about. So,
okay.
So Comic-Con is kind of going like E3, where it's not happening. So essentially, almost everyone pulled out, and I'm gonna say everyone who has pulled out. Marvel's not coming to Comic-Con. Lucasfilm's not coming to Comic-Con. HBO's not coming to Comic-Con. But the streaming service HBO Max will be coming to Comic-Con.
Well, it's not HBO Max anymore. So if HBO Max comes, that's a problem because they don't exist. They're just called Max now.
I hate that.
So if HBO Max shows up, that's just some Dominican guy trying to sell you some bootleg cable. That's not it.
Can we like stop doing that? Like stop trying to simplify it to just one word?
No.
You're right, my bad. Which, by the way, apparently there's an Adventure Time Fiona and Cake spinoff coming.
Well, that's cool.
That's interesting. Anyways, also Sony's out, so I'm sorry everyone, but we won't be getting another Kraven the Hunter trailer.
Good. You don't need one.
Universal Pictures is out. Netflix is out. And it seems like it's NBC and Peacock are undecided.
That means no.
Apple TV is undecided.
It also means no.
And the only people who are going to show up is like the previous, like I said, Max is going to show up. Warner Brothers Pictures, which I don't know. I don't know if that's happening because what's going on with Warner Brothers right now.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And Paramount, which they're probably just going to show a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trailer.
They can show some more stuff than that.
Yeah, but do they have anything else coming out?
No, that's the whole point of Comic-Con. You introduce stuff that's coming out.
That is true.
So they
that is
probably,
true.
Maybe they have a SpongeBob movie or a SpongeBob show or.
Oh, have you heard about like that spinoff with Sandy? They could probably show that off.
Okay, there you go. SpongeBob spinoff with Sandy. They could probably show. Paramount Plus has a lot of stuff. They have Star Trek, and that's one of their biggest franchises. So they probably can show some Star Trek stuff. What else they have? They have Scream, of course. They have a lot of different franchises they can show.
Don't worry, Dad. Comic-Con saved. You want to know who's coming?
Who?
Funko.
Okay, that's something.
Funko about to announce the new Funko line.
Show some new Funko Pops and things like that. Yeah.
All right, but let me read the article a bit. The 2023 San Diego Comic-Con is set to run July 20th to July 23rd. Suddenly looks sparse on the presentation front, likely due to the ongoing Writers Guild of America strike, which has stalled many productions and pulled creators out of promotional cycles. Many studios opt out of attending the typical star-studded fan event. Adding to the potential woes for Comic-Con, the Screen Actor Guild has voted to authorize its own strike if it cannot reach a new TV and film contract deal before June 30th. Whether or not SAG strike a deal in time, both movie and TV studios are opting to buck the annual trend of trekking to San Diego to show off the new few years of productions. So essentially, because of the writer's strike, no one's showing up in Comic-Con, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't that hard to pay your writers?
Yes, when you're a greedy asshole. So yeah.
You know, you're right. My bad. I should have considered that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all to it. That unfortunately, writers are not getting paid, and they deserve to be paid properly for their work because a little bit of a hot take. Writers do a lot of work, man. Writers, all the directors get all the credit, and writers do a lot of the work. Like all of the adaptation to projects, stuff like that, done by the writers when they're writing it down, making the project work, and directors put the writing to vision. But it's a team. It's a team, and writers don't get compensated for the work that they put in, and I think that's very, very disappointing, especially considering how much these movies are making. These movies, even the ones that fail, make like $100 million. So if you can make that much money on a movie, you can compensate your writers properly.
Honestly, I don't understand why is it so hard to pay the writers. Again, because they're a greedy company, obviously, but it's just like at this point, it's costing you more money than it is. So just pay your writers.
Yeah, come up with some agreement because it is costing money because they have a whole bunch of projects that they're supposed to be working on that's been put on hold, and as those projects are being put on hold, they're losing money. Like Deadpool 3, because it's a writer's strike, they can't improvise a lot of the stuff that they wanted to do, so that's causing a big problem with these movies. So they might want to just get this handled and put this out of the way because pretty soon the well is going to run dry for the content that we have coming up. Right now, like for example, right now we're doing pretty good because shows like Secret Invasion has already been filmed, and a lot of the Star Wars stuff that's supposed to be coming out this year has already been filmed. But eventually, that content's going to run out, and you're going to have a long lapse of content just not going to be there because We didn't have any writers to write it. So that's a problem.
It sucks really, and as a result of the writer's strike, Comic-Con's not really happening. Like, it still is, but is it really? Because like, I feel like the appeal of Comic-Con is to see like all these cool announcements, and yeah, we're still gonna get some cool ones. Like somehow there's another Adventure Time show.
Yeah,
And that's cool.
that
And
is
apparently
cool.
Warner Brothers is still in, so that's also interesting to see.
So we'll probably see Mortal Kombat.
The movie, right?
No,
We're
the
gonna see
game,
the video game.
the video game and the movie. Probably see either one of them.
Does a show game at Comic Con?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, because like wasn't Gotham Knights shown in Comic Con?
correct. It was
I completely forgot about that.
for good reason.
Uh-oh.
Gotham Knights not a good game.
No. But thank God Funko Pop is still here.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminds me a bit of like what's going on with E3, but of course for a completely different reason.
Well, E3 is probably going to be dead.
Yeah.
These companies have figured out that they can do the same thing without having to pay for E3 and build booths and stuff like that. They can do the same thing from their corporate offices and get the same reaction and response from it. So that's what they're going to do.
But then again, you still have Summer Game Fest, which some companies still go to.
Kinda, but when they go, they kind of just send a video. Like here's what we're doing. It's not like E3 was a big production in terms of, hey, we got to rent out this big old auditorium and pay all this money for that and do all these things and make it look like a magical moment. Whereas Summer Game Fest is like, all right, we can just put up a bunch of videos of the games that's coming out and people are going to be excited for it anyway.
Yeah, it sucks. Like we're not getting E3 this year. We're not even getting a summer. We're not even getting like San Diego Comic Con this year. Well, we are. It's just gonna be kind of lame.
It's going to be bare bones. But we might get some cool stuff out of it. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah,
It's coming up in a couple of weeks, so we'll see then.
and I'll be here to talk about it.
Yes.
Will you be here?
No.
Oh. All right. So that's all the news I got. So how about we get to the two questions I have? What one of them is from your lovely co-host, Haley Nicole Miller.
Never heard of her.
All right. It states, "What is your favorite breakfast food?"
All right, Delvin, you got to pick the correct answer. Let's hear it.
I don't want to say anything.
Go ahead and say it.
I like
Well,
pancakes.
That's the correct answer.
Okay.
I will say this. For a long time, we used to eat waffles for breakfast because they were very convenient to just put them in the toaster and eat them. And I guess we ate them so much that you guys got tired of them. So y'all didn't want to order waffles. Y'all didn't want to eat waffles anymore. So we just stopped getting them. But for a long time, that was our breakfast. Waffles and sometimes Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm quite sure you remember that, son.
Yeah, I remember. Like every day we wake up, put some waffles in the toaster and then eat it like that. And yeah, then eventually I got sick of it. To the point where I just don't want to eat waffles at all anymore. But I still like pancakes. Like pancakes smack no matter what. Like having like pancakes with like some eggs, scrambled eggs on the side and bacon. Perfect breakfast there. Beauty. All right. What's your favorite breakfast food?
Pancakes, either pancakes or Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Or sometimes when I
That's a
want
good
something
one.
that's like a little salty, I kind of like a good omelet. Good omelet's really good. I like omelets. And I like sometimes like grits, eggs, and bacon.
That's a
IHOP
good
has a good omelet, by the way.
All right, I'm gonna flip the question. What's your least favorite kind of breakfast?
I I don't think I have a least favorite. Anything? You know what? Oatmeal with raisins, they have also, which I usually eat for breakfast. They have the cinnamon bread, the cinnamon sugar bread, the cinnamon raisin bread, the cinnamon raisin toast with butter on it. I hate raisins, so I don't want that. And sometimes your mom used to buy the cinnamon bread, like the cinnamon sliced bread. That was really good, but sometimes she would buy it by mistake with raisins, so I would never eat it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's smack. Not the raisins. I hate raisins too. There was also like the grits. Grits. I hate grits. And I found myself recently not really liking sausages as much as I used to.
Yeah, that's fine. As you grow and you get older, your palate changes. Some things you liked when you were younger, you just don't like now, and that's fair. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there's our answers. Hope that satisfies you, Haley. And our final question is from my friend Sky,
Okay.
who wants me to give my thoughts on this. So I'm not on Twitter anymore. I don't like social media, but you are,
Yes, I am.
and I think this is dumb. So I'm gonna ask you. So he asked, "What's my thoughts on the new change that Elon Musk?" Which I'm just gonna read the tweet.
Elon Musk. Yeah.
To address extreme levels of data scraping and system manipulation, we applied the following temporary limits. Verified accounts are limited to reading 6,000 posts a day. Unverified accounts to 600 posts a day. And new unverified accounts to 300 posts a day.
I saw this because we're dealing with it right now as we speak. This man is an idiot. That's the best way I can describe it. And I say this not in the nicest way possible because screw him. I don't care. You can't beat me in a fight, so whatever. But
he's rich. He'll be fine.
It's very off-putting and dare I say stupid to drive people away from your platform whose sole purpose of existing is to get people on your platform so they can communicate with each other. And furthermore, wouldn't it make more sense to try to figure out ways to get people to stay on your platform instead of going to other platforms and just add in, like there's tons of other ways he can make people use Twitter more efficiently and like Twitter more, but he chooses to do the stupidest way he can. And that's why Twitter's failing. That's why we have the problems we have. Twitter's a broken app now. He should have never bought it, and he's essentially killing Twitter off, and it's sad to see.
So like I said, I'm not on Twitter anymore, but to see what Elon's doing with Twitter is embarrassing to say the least. Cause like, first off, I wasn't even a fan of him buying Twitter in the first place because Elon's an idiot.
No one was.
Oh, his stands were happy.
His fans are also idiots.
Yeah.
And now they're complaining that Twitter is a shithole and they deserve every L that they can get.
Yeah. But there's like so much that I hate about what they're doing with Twitter. Like, for example, verifications. Originally, verifications was simple. You get verified, you're the real deal. Now, or before they made the other change that I hate, verifications was you're the real deal, and also you pay for Twitter Blue.
Yeah.
And now, for real this time, now they completely remove verification for let's say I'm Future.
You are Future. Okay, I'll say that.
Sure.
Very misogynistic, Future. You should stop doing that.
I'm still verified.
Should respect women, Future. That's not cool.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm still verified because I have over 1 million followers. But yes. if I'm Denzel Curry, I'm not verified because I don't have that kind of I don't have that kind of level.
Well, step your game up, Denzel Curry.
Or better yet, this one's insane to me. Like, Curtis Connor, the popular YouTuber and comedian, he's not verified, which is insane to me because by Elon standards, he should be because he has over 1 million followers.
Well, it's simply because this man does not know what he's doing. This man cannot run a calculator, no less a website.
I will give Elon this.
No.
This credit.
Anything.
You're right about that.
He's a moron.
Besides paying for a blue check mark, which is, I'm sorry, you're getting made fun of if you do that. The idea of having different check marks for like companies and stuff and celebrities and stuff like that, that's fine. Whatever. But the fact that you had to pay for a blue check mark and it's so easy to impersonate someone. Like I remember like the worst case of this is like someone tweeted as Nintendo of America, air quotes, of a picture of us and Nintendo of America support Pride, and they have Luigi and Bowser kissing. That was funny.
It's pretty good.
It is. It's funny, but like it does make you think. Like it can be really easy to impersonate someone.
Yeah, they're doing it all the time now.
Yeah, like imagine if I made a new account. I made an account based off you, copy everything, and then immediately start spamming racial slurs. So then someone will see that who knows you and be like, "Yo, Delvin, what's all this about?" And they'll be like, "I'm not doing that."
They're like, "Oh, Delvin's just being Delvin again." Saying all the racial slurs and saying all the normal stuff he says. This doesn't surprise me at all.
But and now you're getting 6,000. You can see 6,000 posts max if you're a verified account, which is insane to me.
If I'm paying money, I should see however many posts I want to see. I don't give a damn. I'm paying for this.
Yeah, if you're paying to be verified, a big mistake.
Yeah.
But if you're paying for it, you should see all the tweets you want.
Yeah. I agree.
And like the dumbest part is like, why is there a limit? Why is there a limit to social media? Like, don't you want money? Because like the more people who see like ads and stuff like that, the more money you make.
You would think that, but that's how he works. He's very stupid. That's the best way to describe it. He's very stupid.
Like half of me is like, Elon, stop messing up Twitter. But the other half of me is like, actually, no, keep this up. Because one day, if he makes a big screw up, one day Twitter can be gone.
And it probably will be gone.
Huh?
It probably will be gone soon.
And honestly, that's not a bad thing.
Probably not. Twitter's a cesspool. It's getting worse and worse, and Elon made it worse.
Yeah, because like, I don't know if you saw this, but when Elon took over, most of the pedophilic accounts were banned, which was good. But also there was a noticeable raise on slurs, on racial slurs and stuff like that, which is bad. And not only that, like this whole like freedom of speech that Elon preaches about, that he wants in social media, is clearly not working. And even then, his ego is so big that he won't even like step down. Like when people like voted, like when he made like a Twitter poll, which by the way, horrible idea, of like, should I step down? And people said no. Wait, people said yes. Excuse me. People said yes, please step down. He didn't even listen because he has that much of an ego.
Well, that's just who he is, and I think that just tragic. Elon's not good. Twitter is not good. Everything that he's been doing has been horrible. And he's just kind of showing us that eventually we need to just find something else to do with our time instead of social media because it's no good for us.
It's no good, no bueno. It's disappointing. Like, again, I'm not on Twitter anymore. So, frankly, I don't care.
Yeah.
But, like, at the same time, I feel bad for the people who are on Twitter. Because, like, this is just awful changes. Like, it's gotten so bad, people started caring about Tumblr again. That's how you know when you messed up.
Yeah.
So yeah. Elon bad. This new change is bad. And I hope that answers your question, Sky.
Yeah. There you go.
Final thing on the podcast. We'll give one recommendation for games and one recommendation for like a song or an album. So, I forgot to do this last time. So I would say because I I completely forgot to write down the notes, but I will say this instead as an excuse. Mike Fowler threatened to sue me because what I said on the first episode. So
You ain't got nothing
I
to worry
can
about.
do it legally.
One, Mike Fowler doesn't
I
have
can
any
legally
money.
do it.
Mike Fowler doesn't have any money. He's broke. And two, you don't have any money. So what are you gonna do? He gonna sue you for what? 75 cents?
He'll
be
sue
fine.
you.
I don't have any money either.
So therefore, I couldn't do the drop. I mean, the recommendations, guys. I'm sorry, but now I'm doing it, and now my good father will also give his recommendations to all of you.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. So we gotta give a game to recommend and what
Song,
else? A
a
song?
song or an album.
Okay, game. I'll go Tears of the Kingdom. Why not? I'm still enjoying my time with it. It's really good. I know everybody's playing it, but get back into it if you're not playing it. If you didn't like Breath of the Wild, I'll still say give this one a try because it's not the same game. I know people are saying, "Oh, it's the same as Breath of the Wild." Just added more. It's very different. A lot of different more things into it. Has a little bit of many different games like Minecraft. I can't even say the amount of games it has a little bit of it, but I think you pretty much enjoy it if you tried.
Yeah. Tears of the Kingdom has like I agree with you on that aspect where Tears of the Kingdom has like a lot of things that most modern games have, like you said, Minecraft in terms of like crafting and stuff like that. But then again, what game doesn't do that?
Not to this degree though, and that's why I think
True.
it's very closer to Minecraft than I've seen other games.
The move set. Uh, I want to say the move set's like and like gameplay in general. I think is very reminiscent of like old Zelda, but feels evolved. The world building, and like the amount of stuff you can do feels like Red Dead 2. From what I've heard, at least I haven't played it. It feels like it took every open world game and just mix it all into one beautiful game. I cannot wait to talk about it when I'm done.
Yeah, there you go.
What song you want to recommend?
Song, you know what? Nakamura. The
You took
song
my
about
game and you took my game and you took my song.
I really enjoy that song, the Lil Uzi Vert song. Fowler told me about it first, and my son also co-signed it. And yeah, it's a dope song. If you want to pick another song, I'll pick another song.
Nah, it's cool. Not cool. I'll pick another song.
I have been listening to much new music lately, but yeah, that's what I've been listening to. I'm trying to look on my phone to see if I have anything else.
My recommendations to all of you, game wise, I'm gonna say Jedi Survivor. I finally started it last night, and I gotta say, I'm really enjoying it more than I thought I would.
There
Like
you
the
go.
the gameplay doesn't. I see some people compare it to Dark Souls, but it doesn't really feel like it to me. Like it's a Souls like. Don't get me wrong, but like it feels very different from like a Souls like. Like the controls feel a lot more smoother than it does heavy. And
Yeah.
like as someone who's been very burnt out on Star Wars, I've actually been really enjoying my time with this game. So you know what, play it. I hope you enjoy it. As for songs to recommend, let me go ahead and check my album of the year profile. Ren is now Nas that you can go ahead and follow if you're interested.
Yeah.
Very subtle plugging. Let's see. Listen. Listen to. Listen to the new Zuna Mile record. Um, it's in Japanese. I won't attempt to say it because I don't want to butcher the name, but I'm pretty sure you can find it. If you just look up Zuno Mile, it is very good. I really like it. It's very catchy music, and I recommend it to all who want to listen to it.
There you go. Okay.
And that's a wrap. Um, I just want to say this. Thank you, Dad, so much for coming on this podcast. Um, I really look up to you. I love you.
Love you too,
And
son.
I probably wouldn't be doing this podcast if it wasn't for you, if I wasn't inspired by how much effort you put into your podcast. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome, son. No
Um,
problem
for
at
the
all.
for those who want to check out my dad's stuff, you can find him on the Delvin Cox Experience. Let him know what else you can find him.
You can check out the Delvin Cox Experience if you want a more serious take on things or a fun take on podcasts and, just interviews and stuff like an interview series. If you want a video game take, you can check out PXXP, the show I do with my co-host, Miss Haley Nicole Miller, who's a wonderful person. Or you can check out Play Some Video Games, the show I do with Donnie Reese and Devin Tice, which is also a video game podcast. So if you want some of those things, just go check those out and you'll have a good time.
And of course, you can find me is Ren is now Nas on Album of the Year. You can find me in any gaming platform of choice as Ren the Mixed Nerd. And you can find me in a dumpster with Oscar Isaac, not Oscar the Grouch, specifically Oscar Isaac. Like as I talk to him about why he hates Miles Morales so much.
There you go.
All right. So thank you all for listening. Thank you, Dad, for coming on the podcast. Next episode will probably be a solo deal. So look forward to that. And yeah, this has been Delvin, aka Ren. I'm signing off. Bye.